Welcome! In this explainer, we're going to dive deep into one of the most famous and profound conversations in the entire Bible, the story of the living water from John chapter 4.
Okay, let's start right here with this incredible promise from John 14. Jesus offers a kind of water that quenches thirst forever. So, what did he really mean by that? And what does this offer tell us about who he is?
Here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll follow the story as it unfolds, from what seems like a simple chat at a well to a life-changing revelation about a fountain that springs up from within.
So first up, let's just set the stage for this incredible offer. You have to understand, this moment isn't just a side story. It's one of the most significant revelations in the entire book of John.
You see, at its core, this whole conversation is really about one central theme. Jesus is revealing himself as the source of true salvation. This living water he talks about, it's a powerful metaphor for a kind of spiritual fulfillment that goes way beyond any physical need we could ever have.
Now, to really grasp just how deep this offer is, we have to look at the context. The where and the who of this conversation are absolutely key to understanding just how radical this whole encounter was.
What's so fascinating here is the emphasis on divine purpose. The text says Jesus must needs go through Samaria. Now, that tells us this wasn't some random detour or a convenient shortcut. Nope. This was a divine appointment. It had to happen.
And the original Greek word used here, edi, really drives this point home. It suggests a powerful necessity, a compulsion, like it was an essential part of God's plan. Jesus was driven to go through Samaria because his mission depended on it. This wasn't a choice. It was destiny.
And this is why that's so important. You have to understand the bitter hatred between Jews and Samaritans. We're talking centuries of bad blood over racial purity, where they should worship, and even which parts of Scripture were legit. For a Jewish man to even speak to a Samaritan woman in public, well, it was shocking. Jesus wasn't just crossing a geographical border. He was shattering massive social and religious walls.
So what exactly is this living water that Jesus offers? This is where he takes something totally ordinary, something everyone understands, and just fills it with incredible spiritual meaning. You see, for Jewish people at the time, living water was a familiar term. It just meant fresh, flowing water, from a spring or a river. It was considered pure, alive, because it was moving. But Jesus takes that simple idea and elevates it to a whole other level. He's talking about a spiritual life, a divine gift that comes straight from God himself.
So how do you get this living water? Well, Jesus lays out a process that's so simple, but incredibly profound. First, you have to recognize where it comes from, God himself. Second, you have to understand it's a gift. You can't earn it, you don't deserve it, it's just freely given. And third, you receive it simply by asking for it.
Now, the woman at the well, she immediately understood how huge this claim was. What Jesus was offering wasn't just unusual, it was a direct challenge to her heritage, which brings us to a really critical question about his authority.
Her question just cuts right to the heart of it all. She's basically saying, look, our great ancestor Jacob, a patriarch of our faith, he had to dig this well to get water. Are you, a stranger with not even a bucket, telling me you're greater than him? She knew exactly what he was implying.
And the answer, which you see woven throughout the Gospels, is a resounding yes. This wasn't some one-off claim. Jesus consistently presented himself as being superior to all of Israel's greatest figures and institutions, the very pillars of their faith. He wasn't just another prophet. He was claiming to be above them all.
But this claim to be greater than Jacob isn't just about showing off his authority. It's about being able to offer something that no one else possibly can. And that brings us to the universal human need that this living water is designed to satisfy, a deep, spiritual thirst that everyone feels.
We all know how to quench physical thirst, right? You just drink some water. But what about that deeper thirst, that longing for purpose, for meaning, that ache of emptiness or anxiety that just won't go away? We all feel it, but people so often try to satisfy it in all the wrong ways.
And that leads us to this really crucial contrast. The world offers what the Bible calls stagnant waters. Things like wealth, power, fleeting pleasures. It's like trying to quench your thirst by drinking salt water. It promises relief, but it just makes you even thirstier. The alternative is this fountain of living waters, a direct connection to God that truly and permanently satisfies the soul.
So let's wrap this all up. What is the ultimate nature of this gift?
Well, the text reveals something amazing. It's not just something you receive once, but something that actually transforms you from the inside out.
And this right here gets to the heart of the whole thing. This living water isn't a one-time drink. It becomes a permanent, internal well of life inside you. It's constantly bubbling up, always active, always flowing, leading all the way to everlasting life. It's a dynamic, unending source of spiritual life that becomes a part of you.
And so that amazing offer that was made to one Samaritan woman at a well thousands of years ago is the exact same invitation that echoes through the final pages of the Bible. It's an open call to anyone, anywhere who thirsts for something more, to just come and take the water of life freely. The only question left is, what are you using to quench your thirst?